Loud Mom's Lair. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Tara.
Today we have our first special guest. This is my mom, Linda.
Hi.
Yes. As you guys have heard before, this is the famous Aunt Linda that we have spoken about in prior podcast episodes.
Yes. Again, you all have know that we've been trying to get our moms on. It just so happened to work out that mine is still here at my house enjoying Braxton, and she gets to be a part of our fun tonight.
Yay! So we figured we would dive into this episode. We'll do, of course, our little "How was your week?" type thing, but this episode will be all about us asking her questions on her parenting styles and how she felt about raising this blessed Krissy and how she thinks Krissy is doing parenting.
And you, she's seen you parent also.
I guess, sure.
For the most part.
Yeah. Okay, so let me kick this off. How was your guys' week?
Out of control. One, long story short, I went to the doctor today because, as weird as this sounds, I have been feeling that something's been like stuck in my throat. And then I went to look at my tonsils, and one tonsil is bigger than the other. So of course then I get on Google and I'm like, all right, cool, cancer.
You have cancer.
So I went to the doctor today. I had to get 4 different blood tests, I think. I took my dad with me in case they gave me bad news because I probably would have fainted. So I made him go with me. But so far all the test results came back good.
For the same.
Yep. Always.
Always.
Yes. So I'm good as of right now. All the tests
what
are
do you mean
coming back.
As of right now?
Well, they're all coming back good. I think I'm waiting on 2 more tests. He thought it was probably more like tonsil stones, which those can come and go.
Can you get those out? I've seen the TikTok videos. You can
it's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't be doing that.
Do it. Do it. Send me a video.
Or I could just have an inflamed tonsil. So cool. For the rest of my life, I get to feel like I'm choking on something.
Does it feel like that?
No, it really just feels like something is stuck in my throat. I'm not chewing.
So Krissy's being dramatic.
Yes, like always.
Is this another stomach ache issue?
Yeah. I'm telling you. On the other note, my child is pushing his limits this week.
Even with me.
No. Not Muggy.
I will get more into that in the tantrums because we got lots of them for this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Just out of control. So, to end my week, how was yours?
Well, first off, Aunt Linda, how was your week?
Oh, it's been fine. We have loved every minute spending with him, and he's got such an imagination. But I'm ready to go home, take a nap. He wakes me up every morning too early. Morning, cock-a-doodle-doo. 7 o'clock, 7:30. It's like I'm not used to that. I sleep till I want to sleep.
Until 7?
Yeah.
Well, he's been off school for the past 2 weeks, so yeah, he's been. But no, we normally get him up about 7 o'clock. He doesn't go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. This kid is.
Okay, first of all,
around right now.
I hope not.
Oh my God. Okay, so you're at least enjoying your time there.
Yeah.
You're ready for your rest.
Yeah. But we've got, our own things we got going on coming up. We got doctor's appointments, that we have to go to. But it's been a lot of fun being out here.
You guys have been out there for a few weeks, right?
About 3 weeks, yeah.
Hey, we have our guest bedroom back, so we're ready for you if you want to make the trip.
I'll text you on that too.
Wow.
Hence the word doctor's appointments. So
that means
okay.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, that's okay.
We'll do it another time.
Totally fine. So our week, we were, as I pour another White Claw, it's been a hell of a week, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. We don't sleep in this house anymore. Like, we are on, I know I said it the last episode, but like Liv is not sleeping and I don't know what is going on. And she wakes up twice a night, every single night, and the same like hour span.
Yeah.
So it's every night between 11 to 12 and then 3 to 4 every single night. Does not happen. Does not happen any other night. Does not happen. Like, it happens every single night. So we are exhausted. And like, unfortunately, Matt's able to sleep through the noise.
Ugh,
And
isn't that the
so-
worst? Can't stand
It won't-
men.
I know, God. And so he's always offering. He's like, hey, like, please wake me up. It's my turn. Like, wake me up when it
Yeah.
happens. He knows he's a deep sleeper. But then I wake up and she's screaming, mommy. And I feel like
Uh-huh.
I feel guilty if I don't go because she's saying mommy,
Yeah.
you know? And it's so stupid. It's so stupid because it should be like, oh, fuck it, you know, like,
Yeah.
get the fuck up. But a lot of the times, and not all of the time, but a lot of the times I'm like, I'll just take care of it. You know, she wants mommy. I'll go up there. My mom guilt has kicked in overdrive and sleeping well. So, yeah, so we're definitely dealing with that. But overall, the week was okay, minus the sleep issues. So, yeah. Well, I think we should dive in. I think we should dive into a cheers and to the episode to ask Aunt Linda all of the dirty details.
Not too dirty, please.
No.
You know me, I'm no filter, so go bring it on.
Noted.
All
Let me
right,
come up with
so
some questions.
let's cheers to hopefully lighter, cooler weather to the fall.
Oh God, yes. Oh, wait, hon. Wait, I had my first pumpkin spice latte today.
Those are out already? Oh, I guess it is September,
Yeah,
right?
September.
Came out this week. It was the most magical thing we have ever
Basic
tasted this year.
White girl.
Basic bitch. Basic bitch. Happens. It happens.
All
Anyway.
And then to obviously a new month of chaos. So
Yeah.
let's bring it and cheers.
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 All right. So, Aunt Linda, I know
Yes.
you are a regular on this episode.
Every Monday morning.
I know you harped on me when I didn't upload the video in time.
You're putting pressure on us.
As I'm like actively editing at your house.
Yeah.
I didn't get my episode this morning. So I want to hear initially, before we get into the questions, like, how is it like watching Krissy raise Brexton as a mom? Like, how is it watching Krissy be a mom?
Well, I tell you, when she got Penny, I could see how she was reacting to Penny. So I knew right then she would be a good mom. And then, yeah, when she had Braxton and all, yes, it was total turnaround what I thought it was going to be. Because, you know,
In a
when she
good
was
way.
growing
In a
up,
good
yeah,
way.
when she was growing up, it was like, you know, she liked her sleep. She's so impatient, which she still is kind of impatient.
You did like your
Yeah.
sleep.
God, I would nap all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've napped in ages. Like three and a half years.
Yeah.
Yeah, naps don't exist anymore.
No.
I mean, she hated school. She wanted me to homeschool her. And I said, absolutely
Stomach
not,
aches.
because we'll kill each other. Yeah. Stomach ache every day. And I would just tell her, just go try. She hated the sound of that.
I love it.
Come on. Just like my stomach hurts. Just let me off. What are you talking about? Go
No,
try.
well, let me
Did it
tell-
hurt?
Well, let me tell you about what your muggy, my mom,
Oh.
did to Aunt Kelly. Aunt Kelly, I think she was in kindergarten. And Aunt Kelly says, Mom, I can't find my shoes. Muggy took her to school barefoot. She didn't put up with any crap. So,
So apparently that's why my stomach ache problems
Yeah.
did not
Yeah.
sit.
Stomach aches.
yeah.
I mean, hey, I did sometimes. I didn't like school, so I made my stomach hurt.
Yeah. From day
I
one.
call that anxiety.
Yeah. Day one.
That's what my therapist says too.
But no, she's doing, both of you doing phenomenal jobs with your kids. I've seen both of you
Uh-huh.
firsthand, and you guys really, I know it's funny because your mom and I were raised on the same family, but I think we raised our kids differently.
Yeah.
And you and Krissy being the same age, but you guys are raising your kids differently, more, you're more regimen scheduled.
I was gonna say, so when you say different,
and Krissy is not.
Hence the bedtime.
I know, Liv better be in bed. Oh, I love that though. I mean, but like we are going to raise our kids differently, and we were raised differently.
Yeah.
In fact, she's raising Braxton different and doing things different than I did. So it's difficult sometimes for Dave and I to
keep their mouths shut.
Yes. Because we see some things that it's like, no. And I just keep saying, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah.
Because he's not my child. And, that's, I think a lot of new parents are doing that now, is raising them different, either, no spanking or let's discuss things.
That's not me. I spank my child.
But
do you?
That's
yeah, he needs an ass whooping sometimes. It's not like I'm like whipping him, but
all I heard was that you're whipping your child.
Yeah.
Wait, we never talked about that. So you are spanking me.
Well, sometimes yes.
No,
I don't all
no
the time,
judgment.
Yes.
I'm genuinely asking.
No, yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes.
Heck yes, I got my ass whooped.
Yeah, I mean, we got spanked and we turned out fine. But he now, it's like he doesn't care if he gets spanked. It's like, all right, whatever. Here's my butt. Sure. So, gotta pick your battles. Some days it's like, all right, you're really just not doing what you need to do, so here it comes. But then other days he's like, do it. I don't care.
So we tried, not to go off your question, Aunt Linda, but like we tried the gentle parenting route. For the listeners who are not watching this video, I am actively fluttering my eyelashes because it's working. I don't think it's working. We will do where fucking bitch. She will we'll do the count to 3 thing. Why we thought this would work, because we've never done anything at 3, but like we'll count, and I think I've said this on a different episode, but we'll count like 1, 2, and we'll get super stern in our voice, and then she'll look at us, smile, and be like, and run away. But like, I'm not going to do anything, so I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know why we decided against spanking, because both of us, like Matt got the belt. I got spanking real bad by my dad. Like we both got it, and obviously we're fine, Yeah. But for some reason, and I can't tell you why, we just decided not to do that. And we decided to go the gentle parent route, and quote unquote, and we
and
just
how's that working for you?
Sometimes it is, though. I have read that you still like have to talk to them kind of like an adult, I mean, you have to get at their eye level. And I'm trying, which I don't do it a whole lot anymore, of I wouldn't really say baby talk, but kind of baby talk. I don't do, I'm like, hey bud, I do it more in my actual voice. And that's also like how I talk to him. Austin he doesn't do the baby voice, but his is a little bit more babyish than mine. So it's like you kind of got to get away from that a little bit and talk to him like an adult. And I did read somewhere where like eye level, you have to be at their eye level. So like
we
crouch
do that.
down.
Yeah, so we definitely get eye level. We do the crouch down, or we'll sit on the floor just to make sure we are at eye level. And we'll have a very not stupid, but it's saying out loud, but we have a very honest conversation, and we have a very transparent conversation. And we're just like, do you like feeling that way? Do you like doing this? Do you like this getting done to you? And she normally answers no. And I was like, okay, that's why we don't do this, you know,
Exactly.
that's why, like, do we do this? Do we do this? Do we do this? And normally it's like, do we spit? Do we hit? Do we throw things? Do we kick? And she says, no, 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 no. I'm like, okay, so what do you say? She's like, I'm sorry.
Then listen, I'll be like, you need to go say sorry to whoever or me or whatever. And, you know, he'll say it. He doesn't mean it, obviously. But then if he's getting in trouble, sometimes he'll be like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, you're not sorry because you're going to go back and do it right away. I was like, you're not sorry.
And this is where we're different, because if Liv did that, I'd be like, okay. Yes!
No, I'm like, I know your game. You're gonna get right back up and go do what you're not supposed to be doing. Or he says, don't look at me, because he wants to go and do what he's not supposed to. So he thinks saying, don't look at me is gonna get us to look away so he can go be destructive or do whatever he may do.
Oh my God. I somewhat love that.
Freaking ass.
All right. So if you could ask your mom any questions about you or about me or about us, like, what would it be?
I thought these were supposed to be at her, not questions for me.
Well, it is at her. So, like, what question it stands out to you that you want to ask your mom as a mom?
You know, actually, that's really funny. I did have one earlier today. I'm cutting.
Do you remember it?
Because I do not remember it.
Why?
I don't know why I don't remember.
Okay, here. All right. Aunt Linda, do you have like any regrets as a mom, like raising both Krissy and Brian? Do you have any regrets like throughout the entire process?
I can't think of any. You know, really, the both of them were very good kids. I don't think we ever had to ground them.
So
Seriously. No, seriously. And I'm not just saying that, but they had their moments. You know, they had their moments.
Not a good kid. Don't take this and run with it.
Well, she wasn't bad until she got to be about 11, 10, 11.
That is young. Can you
And
imagine
teenage
Braxton and Olivia at 11 and be like, shit.
Kick his ass. I already asked him multiple times during the week, Braxton, do you want to live with me forever? And right now he says yes. And I said, okay, do you want me to go to school with you? And right now he says yes. And I'm like, all right, taking that charge.
Write that in my diary. So you don't have any regrets?
No, I can't.
I'm doing something wrong.
No, you're not. You know, I was just reading something. I told Krissy the other day, what was that about? A doctor said, if you're frustrated being a parent, that means you're doing a good job. So
we're great parents.
Yes.
I'm so flustered.
You know, it's tough. And seriously, I don't know how a single parent can raise one child or more. I really don't, because I think it seriously takes two people. And I understand there are situations where there would be a single parent, but I hope that this person would have help, you know, maybe family help or something like that. Because I know when Uncle Dave worked the fire station and I had these kids 24/7 for one day, holy crap. I would always call your mom and say, I'm not doing this in my next life. My next life, no husband, no kids. You know, because something always happened when he was working. Not nothing bad emergency, you know.
Probably a tantrum of some sort, or just an incident. Yes.
Always.
No, I give you so much credit for that, because Matt and I always talk about, I'm like, I could never do this alone. I give so much credit to the single parents, and I'm not calling you a single parent, but you were at times when Uncle Dave was busy with the fire station, right? And I don't mean that as like you were alone in marriage wise. You were alone in the moment, right?
Right.
Like, and like I give you so much credit, because there were so many times. Thank God I had Matt in the picture, because there were so many times where I struggled, you know, with the mental health, and we talked about that in previous episodes, but like there were moments where I could feel that I was like checking out because I was so overwhelmed, and Matt was able to like pick up the slack or able to like fill those gaps. And the fact that you were able to do that alone, and I'm sure anyone could just find that strength and, to be able to do that. But I do give you a lot of credit.
Well,
So
thank
I hope
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Aunt Karen too for raising Wesley on her own because she did a
Absolutely.
phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he turned out to be a
crushed it.
wonderful guy, and
Yes.
sure did.
No. Yeah. 2000%. 2000%.
Yeah.
And like Aunt Karen crushed it. Shit.
Yeah. And even your mom too, with, a lot of your
Yeah,
situations.
because my
with
dad
your
was an asshole.
And your dad kind of did what he wanted to do, but your mom did a wonderful job. I always said was a way better parent than me, just because she did everything for her kids and I didn't.
Well, I would
Shut
say
up.
so Leanne was 100%.
Yeah.
Not saying that my parents weren't, because I know, they always had my back and stuff. But yeah, you guys have still just a relationship that's always, I don't know, been really strong with your mom.
It's funny you say that. Like, our neighbors were over tonight. Yes, everyone. I had a lot of White Claws before this episode. But we were talking actually about our parents, and I was mentioning, like my mom is one of my best friends, whether or not we like butt heads on a certain topic or whatnot. But like, I mean, she genuinely was my best friend, and like my dad wasn't there throughout. He provided a lot of things,
Yeah.
but like he wasn't emotionally there. He wasn't a lot of times physically there, and so mom was definitely there and my best friend, and she was available anytime we needed it. So
yeah.
but yeah, shout out to mama.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of getting back on topic. I know we
were we not on topic? No, I'm just kidding.
You need to cut down on the White Claws.
Okay, first off, we still got another one to go. Okay.
Oh my.
I know. I don't know if we've all talked about it, but I know obviously me and my mom, my parents have. Okay, obviously kids are gonna leave home, right? We all did it. We all start our own lives. What was that for you when me and Brian left?
Well, holy crap! They both left on the same day or a day apart.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
And
wait, to Florida and New York?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
A day apart from each other.
Dare you?
I know.
Dare you do that to your mom?
No, excuse me.
Excuse
I left
you.
first, and I'm not the bad child because I didn't leave on her birthday.
Okay. All I hear is you left a day before her birthday.
Yeah, but I could call her and not just, I didn't have to, make her upset by just leaving.
Yeah. It was hard, I think 2 weeks prior to them moving that,
you have asshole children.
Yeah. We said we either did a really good job or a really bad job. They felt so comfortable they wanted to move, or they hated us.
You did such a great job.
Thanks. But
2
weeks leading, that's okay. 2 weeks prior to them moving out, I think was the hardest for me. Once they moved out, I don't know. I just think, because such a big change, they're not going to be there. Then you worry about make sure they're going to survive where they're going, make sure they're okay, and then, when the hurricane hits, hurricane then went up to New York. Who would ever thought a hurricane hit New York? So I worried about Brian and Hillary. And then when it, down in Florida, I worry about Krissy, hurricanes. I said, can't you people go somewhere in the middle of the country?
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Come here.
Where there's tornadoes.
You know how to deal with the tornadoes being, from Ohio. So
like I've been here almost 8 years and have never seen a tornado hit my house. So
knock on wood. Let's hope not. Yeah.
No.
Accurate. So but now when they come back, I love seeing them, but after about 2 days, I'm ready for them to go home. So what kind of a parent do you say I am?
an amazing parent.
Because they get in my space,
they're like, oh my
That is
God.
tough. Like, but you have like a regimen. See, coming
Yeah.
back to my style, you have a regimen. You have like a normal, quote unquote, and
Yeah.
like you just want to get back to that.
Yeah, I sleep till 9:30. I get up. I don't change my clothes till after lunch. I take a nap about 2. So that's about
the retirement
Yeah.
schedule.
And I read about 4
yeah.
books in between there. So
Okay, everyone, let's just prick up your ears because when I was at Aunt Linda's house, just this last visit, she what was it, the first day I was there, you said, "Oh, I'm going to start this book," and you didn't start it yet. 48 hours later, you were like 98% through this book. I was just like flabbergasted.
She's
I
literally
was
always
so-
done like that. She
I have always
finish a book
Really?
in like a day.
Yeah. And your mom turned me on to Danielle Steele. And I always tell your mom, you've
Oh,
got to
yeah.
get back to reading, because
Yeah, she does.
I said, you need to get back to reading because she's the one who turned me on to her. And
Yeah.
she goes, I know, but I read a chapter, I fall asleep. I said, so what? You read a chapter and fall asleep. Pick it up
Read
the
a
next
chapter
day.
while you watch the sports.
Yeah. Yeah. During the commercials. So I know I got 3 books at the library waiting for me when I get home. So
Oh my God. See, so the library, I need to start doing that because we have books on books on books. And I look this direction because I'm looking at a bookshelf. And there's so many books on there that I'll never read again. And I should donate said books.
yeah.
And I
yes.
wish, and I want to get, and I probably will. I will donate them to I think the library takes books, right?
They might, or you could just look online or something.
Okay.
We have in
But-
our neighborhood one of those like what are they, like mailboxes
Yeah.
that are in people's
the
yards?
the
You could
little like
take a book,
bird
pick a book.
feeder
Yeah,
thingies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take a
No,
book
I would
or
lo-
put a book,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of books though that go in there. Are they just kids
Any-
books or can you
any.
throw erotica books in there or what?
I'm sure they
Erotica.
I would hate
Wait,
some
hold on.
third
we just
grader
take-
to pick up a
Take a pause. Can we just mention the fact that my Aunt Linda's reading erotica?
I read all the 50
proud of
Shades
you.
of Grey. I mean, whew. Yeah. That's all
I
we'll
bought
say
all
on
the
that.
wigs to go along with it. Uncle Dave.
All right, too
You
much.
guys.
Krissy doesn't like to hear that.
No.
I
Where
love
do you
it.
think you came from?
The store.
Okay.
The stork. Yeah. Okay.
The quiet ones are the free.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I want to ask this question. So, when you're around Krissy, is it difficult for you to not get in like parent mode around Braxton? If or when like maybe she's not like super like invoking intercepting the situation, or like is it difficult for you to not become like parent mode?
I guess it depends on what it is, but I really don't want to get involved. But I know one time when he was first born and he just was screaming. Remember that one night?
Yeah, so it was when which we've talked about this in one of the first episodes, is where I was breastfeeding, but I wasn't producing enough, and I wasn't really ready to accept that I wasn't producing enough, and I didn't want to get him on formula, but so then you can pick up.
Well, he was screaming, and Krissy felt so bad. She was crying, I'm a terrible mother. I can't feed. And I said, no, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Austin took him, and I ended up going to bed, and then I ended up waking back up because he was still screaming. And I took him from Austin. I said, Austin, I'm not stepping on your toes, but I think you need a break. Maybe I'm not saying I can do anything any better, but
Yeah.
then we kind of figured it out. It was you had a Big Mac that day, and then we went to that Bud's bar the same day. So she had greasy hamburgers. So that's probably why he had a bellyache.
Oh, so he just needed some gas drops.
No,
Yeah.
I think you guys.
No, I don't know.
Him formula though.
Yeah,
you guys-
but I told her when she had Braxton, I said, you have to have formula here
Yeah.
just in
Mhm.
case. I said, because I only could breastfeed for 2 weeks. Muggy only breastfed for 2 weeks. And Gail only breastfed for 2 weeks. So she and Krissy did it longer than all of us. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that because I was so stressed about my supply. I was
Yeah.
so stressed. And like I mean, that was one of the triggers that sent me into like the dark tunnel that I went
Yeah.
into.
Days.
Yeah. I like to call my dark passenger. Um, but yeah, like my mental health issues, because I struggled intensely because I could not produce. I was so stressed that I couldn't produce, and it was just a matter. And my doctor, I loved her, but she didn't really push the supplementing aspect or
Yeah.
the formula aspect, and I was like, I can't feed my child, like she's not gaining weight. Like I'm producing a lot, but I guess I had like quote unquote skim milk and it just wasn't fatty enough.
Yeah.
And I didn't she was fine, but I feel like I could have been quote like intercepted earlier and told, hey, like try formula, at least supplement it,
Yeah.
at least I don't know.
Yeah. I was not going to breastfeed either one of my kids, and my doctor told me even if you did it for 3 days,
Right.
because that's when the most nutrients come out.
Yeah, the
And I said,
colostrum
okay,
yeah.
He said, even if you did it for 3 days, that's going to give them so many nutrients. So I tried it, and it, like I said, it only lasted for 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
but
More power to you trying.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
all you can do. And it is frustrating when the baby doesn't want to latch. It's frustrating for the baby. Then he or she knows you're frustrated, and
Right.
it makes it even
Yeah.
worse. So,
And they're
yeah,
hungry on top of it.
yeah,
Well, and
yeah,
they can't tell you. I mean, yeah, you could think they're crying because, yeah, let's say they have an upset stomach or whatever. It's not like they can come out and be like, hey,
yeah.
your boob isn't giving me enough
Yeah.
what I need. So figure it out, Mom.
Yeah.
Now I know people that breastfed their first baby, but after that they didn't, because I think of all the, situations, or they had to go back to
Yeah.
work. And,
Well,
when
it's hard.
it's very
And
hard.
it's exhausting.
It's so difficult.
Too. It's
Yeah.
Exhausting.
And there's nothing
is
wrong. And
the
there's
best
nothing
word.
wrong with feeding your baby formula.
no.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I was listening to a podcast today, and she's reality celebrity, and she said one of the best things, and I've heard it several times before, but for some reason her saying it like hit a little harder. And she was like, just like fed is best. And so background story, she's prepping for her second child, and her second child is due any day now. And she had a fan or a what's the word? The people that take the pictures, the
Paparazzi.
paparazzi. So she had a paparazzi person like, oh, what are you going to do about breastfeeding? What are you going to do about, super invasive questions. And she started like internalizing, like, what am I going to do about this baby? Because she could only breastfeed for X amount of weeks. It wasn't very long. And she was so stressed on top of it. And she's like, just don't care. And, she's like, it wasn't advertised to me on my first child on the fact that formula is okay. And like the fact that my baby is fed and full and happy is okay versus like I'm naturally able to support my child. And so yeah, the second child around, she's like, I'm just so much more at ease at the fact that I can supplement time I want.
Yeah.
Whether it's from day 1 or day 14 or month 7, and I just thought that was really interesting because first child perspective, you don't get that.
Right.
Yeah.
What okay, so you have 2 kids. I want more than one. Tara is set. Tara's set with one. So you know how people always say when you're a first time parent, you do a lot more things like by the book. And then your second kid, not necessarily like not necessarily like
you're winging
it window, but you kind of are more just like, whatever. Did you go with that? Like, was I the damaged one?
No. did you feel prepping for Brian? Like, what made you want to have a second? Oh, wait, Krissy, wait for a second. Shit. Just kidding. How did you know you wanted Krissy?
I always said if she was the first one, she'd probably be an only child.
Wait a minute.
No.
Go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I know. Oh yeah, that was my
You
suck. No. You know, the books, you read them, but that's not life.
Mhm.
I mean, they can be
No.
a good guideline,
Right.
but that's not life. You have to have common sense when you're raising your kids. You know, I'm serious. You know, when they say, you know, put them in the bedroom, let them cry. I understand that totally. But
Yeah.
if they're coughing and hacking and
Yes.
throwing up for 20
Yeah.
minutes, no, you need to go get that child.
Right.
No, but yeah, it was just common sense. I don't think I read any books. Like I said, maybe I might have read something just to read, but nothing was ever written in stone because kids are so unpredictable. You don't know what their schedules are going to be like.
Right.
You know, when they're sick, then when they get older and they have activities, and holy crap, we used to eat out every night of the week because these kids were so busy.
Right.
You know, we probably maybe on Sunday had a good family meal, but you know, they were constantly running, constantly.
Right.
And then plus
Right.
getting them home. I was telling Krissy the other day, you know, trying to get Braxton in a tub. I said, you know, Krissy, there were days you and Brian didn't have a bath for probably 4 days because
You do what you can do.
you do what you could do. And I'll never
Mhm.
forget, Brian ended up
Washcloth
getting,
bath.
yeah, Brian ended up getting
Or bath.
impetigo on his nose. And one of my sisters, I don't know if it was your mom or Aunt Karen, told me, because you don't
My
bathe
mom.
your child.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But that's not it. I mean, that wasn't it. But just teasing
You
me
know how
like
many
they always
things
did.
could cause that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's like, you know, our house used to be so messy, and
My
you know,
house.
yeah. If you know people are coming over, then you can clean it up.
Right.
But
Yes.
if
Yes.
you got to take care of your kids first
You
and play
do.
with them and love them. You know,
Yes.
'cause I'm telling you what, everything starts from the home. And we just watched that Robert Durst,
She wanted to watch it. What we just went over.
because we don't have HBO at home, so we watched it here.
Did you watch all of them?
Yes, and that's one of the books I have at the library for me when I get back. So I want to read about that. But it starts.
How did you feel about watching it?
It was okay, but it starts from the home when the dad made him watch the mother jump off the roof. It starts from the home, people.
It does. Yeah, things branch out from there.
You have to love your children. I don't care
Yeah.
if you are a single parent or whatever, or two moms or two dads or what. You have to love your child.
And it's not like they said, "Hey, welcome me into this world." I mean, they didn't have anything to do with it. So, yeah, if you're bringing this kid into the world, then guess what? Be an adult and grow up and be there for your kid.
Yeah, I went through this phase that I read a lot of books on serial killers just because it intrigues me.
You guys are so much alike.
It just intrigues me, their mind, what they're thinking. But every book it starts from the home. It starts from their upbringing. And it's sad. It does. Yeah. It's sad that there's so much crap out there but it starts from the home. I'm telling you, it really does.
No,
I mean, I can't vouch for that personally because, you know, my kids grew up in a loving home. I hope they think, but
we did.
Well, Krissy, do you think that?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have any. No,
But do we think that?
Oh yeah,
they did.
Oh no.
It's funny because you know, when you're younger and you're growing up, you don't want to listen to your parents, you know, that you always think they're wrong. You don't think that, you know, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. Just let me go do this. But like now that we're older and we are parents, I don't know. I always tell this to Braxton. Just listen to me. I'm right. You're wrong. But then of course he comes back. I'm a man.
Yeah.
Like what? this kid comes up with shit out of his whatever. But yeah, I mean, but it's true, you know, now that you're an adult, and you have children, your parents were right.
And you know, and I went through the same thing. At
Yeah.
16 years old, I was looking for an apartment because I wanted to move out. Not that I could afford it, but I just, you know, I thought I was right. And I couldn't stand my parents, and you know,
Right.
and then after I had my kids, and it was like, you know, and it's like, gosh, my mom and dad were really right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I wish
Yeah,
every day they were here on this earth so I could thank them, because
Of course.
they were right. I mean, but that's the way,
Yeah.
that's life. I mean, we all go through it. You know.
So it's funny you say that. I always tell my mom, I'm like, oh my God, I am so sorry for all the things that I said to you. No, it's so bad because I was an asshole as a teenager, as I'm sure all females are. I can't
Yeah.
speak for the man side, but like, I'm sure all females are just assholes as teenagers. The 9 to 16, we'll bump it up. 16 range, and we're dicks. Okay, yeah, we're just mean. And I hated my mom. And I tell her that all the time. And I also back that up with saying, like, I'm so sorry. I was so hormonal and I just didn't know how to control my feelings. And you were the easiest target being my mom, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, she was so right. She was so right. And now that, and she always says, she's like, I'm so happy you had a daughter because payback's a bitch.
I was just gonna ask you, Tara. So, what are your feelings about when Olivia is a teenager?
I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I know how I was as a teenager, and it was not good. Like Megan and I. There's one incident that sticks out in my head. Is like, mom was in the laundry room in the old house, and she was, on the floor folding laundry on her lap. And Megan was on one side of mom, and I was on the other side of mom. And like, we were fighting, and I don't know. And I thought this was the most appropriate time to like stand up to Megan. And Megan slapped me, and I hit her back, and mom was like, just like sticking your hands up, and like, now that I think back on that, it's like, oh my God, if we ever had a second child, I could only imagine that, like, being in the middle of that, and
Yeah.
like, we're only planning on having one, I think, and accidents happen, whatever.
Stay
And
away, Matt.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, maybe I think you would be on board. And my neighbor's really trying to talk me into it, okay?
All right. This is when Tara's had too many White Claws, because she's actually talking about maybe having another kid.
Now it's a maybe instead of a no.
Maybe it would be okay. Like,
If it happened, it happened.
And maybe tonight's the night.
She's gonna go and jump his bones after this.
But anyway, Megan and I like smacked each other. We were like in each other's face, and mom was like, playing referee. And like, I just put myself in her shoes now, because I'm like now older, which I hate to admit. I need to get Botox, by the way. And but I'm just like, I fully understand it. And it's perspective, right? And I constantly text her and call her and tell her, I'm so sorry for all the things I put you through.
And I'm sure she appreciates that.
I'm sorry for all the
Is this the first time you said that?
I think I've made like jokes like, oh my God, now I know how you feel or felt or.
And I can't imagine my parents having 5 girls.
I don't get it.
And all like 2 years apart, Oh,
No, Muggy should have shut her legs a long time ago. I love her to death, don't get me wrong. But God.
And poor grandpa, like knowing, who he was and stuff, and he has 5 girls.
football coach and oh
That's why he coached football.
yeah,
Get out of the house.
yeah,
Well, he got all of his boys there that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wanted.
I'm still so confused. I'm like, okay, so everyone listening, like they had not a massive home. Like they had a very typical, like say Midwestern home, and a lot of
It
the
was
girls
tiny.
share. Yep,
one
mine
tiny bathroom,
tiny, tiny. So
two
there was a
bedrooms
there was a
downstairs
loft up. Yeah,
and a dormer upstairs.
Mhm.
yeah. So dormer / loft upstairs, and downstairs there were 2 full bedrooms. And when I say full, I don't mean like large. Like,
like
No,
I
they're
half of a
yeah,
full
they are not.
bedroom.
Yeah,
And so the youngest would get the smaller of the bedrooms, and Muggy and Grandpa, my grandma and grandpa, or our grandma and grandpa, got the bigger of the bedrooms, and then the 1 bedroom downstairs. Oh my God, I remember this house so well.
I
And
know.
so stairs, siblings would share this upstairs, and they had the basement, which was also an awesome basement. They could have done so much more with it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was quite a tiny home, and it puts me in perspective in the sense of, like, I always say we don't have enough space for all of
Yeah.
these things or all of
Mhm.
these events, and I'm like, other people made it work. My
Yeah.
grandma
You
and grandpa
do.
made it work.
You know what? You do. Like nowadays, people, looking for home, I have to have 8 bathrooms.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
why? I have to have a bonus room. And I know a lot of these new homes are made with all this
Mhm.
stuff, okay? But you do make with what you have.
It's,
You have
it's a
to, yeah.
nice to have versus a need to have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But people say it's a need to have.
Yeah. Now, with so many people in our house, I wish we did have at least a half a bathroom somewhere else.
Right,
Because
right.
Grandpa would always say, okay, anybody got to get in the bathroom? I'm taking a shower. The minute he would get in the shower, somebody had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he'd have to go in there.
Was it like the water system? Right. If someone flushed, would it turn the water hot?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Wait, is that a myth or is that for
No,
real?
it's true. Some houses, yes. Some
I
houses
don't know,
do.
but my mother stood on that fact my entire childhood.
I think
Mom,
there are
you're
homes
sick,
like
you
that.
know it's true. Mm,
Yeah.
are there though?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
funny.
So your mom's not on this episode, but she
Rip.
obviously had more than 1 child. You had more than 1 child. Everybody always likes to ask this question. It will not hurt my feelings, but was there
Will
a
it?
favorite child?
No. I tell you what, and I
Sure.
don't know, and I don't know how there were days I liked one more than the other and vice versa. But
Valid.
I never loved either one. I never had a favorite. And I don't know how you can have a favorite.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
don't. Because each one has a different quality than the other one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off. Did you ever find? And I'll tell you why I asked this. Did you ever have a moment where you were like, "How do I give enough attention to each kid?" And I asked this. My neighbor that was over tonight, she has 3 kids and a fresh new 6-month-old baby or 7-month-old. And I asked her, I was like, have you ever been concerned about like giving enough attention to each kid? And I'm kind of curious on your point.
I think that is a good concern because you do. Here you got 2 kids, and personally, I don't know how people with more than 2, because how do you, 4, 5, and 6
Tell my
kids?
mom that all the time.
I don't know. That's me though. Maybe,
Mhm.
but no, it is a concern sometime, because sometimes, say if one is sick, that one needs more of
Right.
attention. But thank
Yeah.
God I had Uncle Dave though too, because he could take
Right.
the other one.
Yeah.
And you guys were awesome partners.
Yeah, we were for the most part, except for when he was working, of course.
Of course.
Which
Single parent up.
that's okay.
He's out saving lives. People
Yeah.
get together.
How dare he? How dare he?
Yeah.
No, but
I
no,
guess
it
it's
is a
starting fire somewhere.
yeah. I mean, it is a concern though for people.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because how do you equal your time? Like then when they got into sporting events, we both tried to, split, him go one time with Krissy, him go one time with Brian, then I would switch.
Alternate,
But then of course when he had to work, Brian had 6 a.m.
Right.
hockey practices. I had to take them both with me. So
6
I would,
a.m.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he was just like 4 and 5 years old. So I'd have to get
6
Krissy up. You
a.m.?
know how the sunshine she is to wake up. I'd have to get, yeah. I'd have to wake her up, get him up. So I would get her and I would go into the rink, get him all ready, and then her and I would go back out to the van, and I would let her sleep.
The green van.
And yes.
There were times even when I would just lock her in there, and I would go get him, pick him up, and come back.
We literally were. Oh no, me and Dad were talking about this earlier today about parents leaving their children in cars.
Yeah, but we didn't do it in hot weather.
Now
I always had a stomach ache. That's why I was left in the van by myself.
nowadays, not allowed.
Doors. And we didn't even have cell phones back then. It was a different time.
Yeah.
Way different time.
Yeah, different time for sure. For sure.
I would not recommend leaving your child in the car now.
But there are definitely times where I'm like, it's literally 30 seconds. Can I leave her strapped in? Like, I need to buy a pack of White Claws.
I did take Braxton into the liquor store like a couple weeks ago.
You just have to.
Took him in there, got what I needed, and he had his Spidey web shooter, so he was shooting it at everybody in the liquor store.
Oh my God.
I love that.
You gotta do.
But if you left him in the car, you'd be all over TikTok. Like, this bitch left him in the car.
Yeah.
Be like, wait a minute.
No, it's 75 degrees.
Spidey shooter.
So yesterday, Dave and I, or was it yesterday or Friday? Was it? When did we take him to the aquarium? Yesterday?
Yes, yesterday.
So we took him to the aquarium because Dave wasn't there and I was there the last time. Krissy's, make sure you watch him. Make sure you hold his hand. Don't let him out of your sight. It's like, oh my God, you survived us bringing him in.
But you also were a lot younger and didn't have broke-ass knees to where you could run.
Yeah. We are not the people to chase other people if they stole our grandchild.
That's the listeners. Like, our moms have broke-ass knees.
Yeah.
They love you, but you do.
Same. Oh my God. I died laughing when you sent me that picture when you were in town. We're posting that picture.
We do. We all of us walk the same.
Yep. Mama and Karen and Linda all walk the same.
Yeah.
Everyone's got broke-ass knees.
And we all got the crooked fingers, and mine aren't so bad, but
yours aren't bad.
No, mine aren't too bad.
Yeah.
All right. So let's hear what you have, Tara, this week. Do you have a tantrum? Do you have a cute moment? I feel like our cute moments are just out the window these days.
Man, fuck the cute moments. They are just not there. And everyone says like terrible twos. No, the threes. The threes are, the twos were wonderful. I don't know where terrible twos came from because it's terrible threes. And it's awful. It is so awful. The attitude is real.
Straight up. Like, what is with this attitude? Like, you're not nowhere. 16. You're 3 years old. Get it together.
Came out of nowhere. And so I was sitting at the table with Liv, and I was to the right of her. She was to the left, and Matt was in the kitchen. And Matt and I were talking. We're trying to teach Liv like patience on,
Mhm.
when we are talking, don't
Mhm.
interrupt and
Yep.
like wait your turn, and we're constantly trying to tell her like, okay, wait your turn. Do you see mommy and daddy talking? Like, just wait your turn. We got to share
Yeah.
this bitch. So I'm talking to Matt and she's like, mom,
Yeah.
mom. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm talking to, and I wanted to get this information out to Matt. And so I'm like talking to him and she's like, mom. And I'm like talking to Matt. I'm talking to Matt. And I'm like, hold on 1 second. And she goes, "Ah."
Oh no.
I could not have laughed louder. Like, I don't know what it was, but I was taken so aback.
Yeah.
And I just laughed my ass off. And Matt was like, was it because she said Tara? I'm like, she did it again tonight. We had our neighbors over and she was coming down and she's like, Mama, like, look at this. Like, Mama, look at this. And of course, I'm talking to our neighbors,
Right.
in the middle of a conversation. I'm not trying to ignore her, but I'm trying to, like, hey, 1 second, I'm having a
Yeah.
conversation, And she goes, Tara, look at this. I'm like, stop calling me Tara. So that is what's happening in our house right now. What about you?
Okay, so earlier I said this week has been full of. I don't think my parents have ever seen him
No.
throw the way
Bad.
he is acting. Well, apparently naps are just not a thing for him anymore.
Oh yeah, we stopped trying.
Well, okay, so I've said before he sometimes gets like mean, right? And I don't know where he learned how to be this mean. He hasn't been in school for 2 weeks. So I don't know where the hell he's picking this up from. He doesn't nap. I try and like put him in bed to nap. Well, he's jumping on the damn bed, throwing pillows all around, kicking walls. So finally, he comes out. He doesn't need to nap. The other day, thank God he didn't bite me, but he bit my fucking shirt. And I'm like, what is your deal? I said, excuse me, where did you learn this? This kid is off the rails lately. And he just will get in a mood where it's always like no, I don't want this, and throw something. And then, no, I want that. So you go and hand it to him. I don't want it. So finally, you know what? No, I'm not playing this game.
I am talking.
So tonight we were sitting down for dinner and he went poop and he didn't want to wash his hands. So I said, get in the bathroom. You're going to wash your hands.
Yep.
So he was standing on his little stool and he's just standing there and he go away. So fine, whatever. We all sat down for dinner and he was probably in the bathroom for a good half hour. And he's just, he finally washed his hands, but I'm like, and Austin's gone this weekend. He is in an airsoft tournament out of town in New Mexico. So
airsoft tournament. Okay, yeah. You just like dug that under the rug.
It's a hobby. They literally do like it's like set up like a war pretty much, but it's airsoft. And they do these like
they
big.
Get paid?
No, it's like a hobby. It's for fun. They have to pay.
Yeah.
It's a hobby. They like it. Whatever. So
okay.
Thank God my parents were here though, because I've had to walk away so many times, and I've told him multiple times. I was like, I don't want to talk to you right now. Mm-hmm. This is not funny to us.
Mm-hmm.
You're being so nasty.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time my parents have ever seen him act the way he's act. I don't know what the hell it is, but yeah, like kicking, hitting, screaming, punching. I've got punched in the face like 4 times.
Girl, getting hit in the face is the most like I am fire. I am fire when that happens. And I'm just like, all I see is red.
I know, and it's so bad to say it, but I just want to sometimes be like, do you want me to punch you in the face right now? Mm-hmm. Not that there's hurts, because it's like you're not, although Braxton is really strong today. My dad was like, oh my God, he's strong. I was like, I know. But it is. It's like, oh my God. I
Try getting hit in the face with glasses on. It
Oh,
like
that
digs
probably
in.
hurt.
Oh my God, yeah.
What a dick. You know,
Yeah.
you get it straight over there.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just kidding.
I
kidding.
have to do hair tomorrow morning. And I said to them, I said, you might want to put him in the car and drive around so he takes at least an hour nap so he's not
straight
super
jacket. Straight jacket.
Yeah.
No, if it makes you feel better, Liv's also elevated in the tantrum stage, and she is hitting. Hitting is her like big thing right now.
Oh no.
Like the most times I'm like, this is the most dehumiliating thing.
It is. It's like, you are 3. Get like
Nope.
over it.
Nope. She spits and just like stares at it and is just waiting for it to drop. And I'm like, I will murder you. Not serious, everyone listening.
Yeah.
But
We're kidding.
yeah, we're joking. But I am like, I will whoop your ass.
Yeah, but sometimes you
So
are
hard.
like, oh my God, just let like he likes to, like, when he's mad, he'll like tug on your shirts. And I'm like, don't tug on our shirts. Do you want me to do that too?
Oh.
Because he got so upset one day at
Mhm.
school. They wore their PJs to school, and
Yeah.
heaven forbid he gets his Spidey PJs messed up. Some kid like pulled, and you could see it when he got home, like the neckline was like really stretched out.
Yeah.
And he got so upset by that. And he was pulling on our shirt. And I said, do you remember what it was like and how you felt when you got your Spidey comfies pulled on? It's like a freaking pull on our shirt.
Yeah. Well, it's hard teaching them too. It's like, do you like how this person's acting? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so stop acting like that.
Exactly.
You're also doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Or yeah, when you ask them, like, okay, do you understand me? Do you understand why I'm saying this? Yeah. Whatever. No, you don't. Just pretending.
The fuck.
Oh, he also now is, so we've talked before, he's a very big sweet person. He loves popsicles. Well, our freezer is the one that like you can pull underneath our fridge, so he can easily get to it, right? So now every time we're like, okay, you can have a popsicle, but that's it, no more. Oh, I just want one more. No, we said no. He goes over there and opens it himself and grabs the popsicle and goes out and opens it. And
nope. That's how Liv is with like chips, Peace Puffs to be specific. And we're like, no, not allowed, not okay, not until you're done with dinner. So
I just have to say, I enjoy you too. listening and watching how I've been there, done that.
My mom always says that shit, and I'm like, okay, cool, but like, did you learn from it? Tell me.
Tell me
the
advice
secrets
on how to get through this.
Don't have any.
Advice how to beat their ass.
Figure it out.
I know, and I truly feel like every kid is different, and there's you can only give so much advice. It's like, and the advice is like general guidelines, and
right, exactly.
Every person, including the children, they're so different.
Yeah,
and they interpret, they intake all the information so differently, and it just is what it is.
Well, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Oops.
Is there though? Is there?
Yeah, when they move out.
I was gonna say when they grow up.
Yeah. Okay.
No, there is. There is.
Yeah. Well, I will say at least high five to the fact that they're not sociopaths because they say sorry. So
yeah.
High five.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, good way to end.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys so much for joining this episode, and thank you, Aunt Linda, for being our guest.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So you guys can all find us on Instagram at Loud Moms Lair Podcast, and then on YouTube or Spotify at the channel at Loud Moms Lair. That's it.
Have another White Claw.
It's Saturday.
Cheers.
Do it. All right,
Whatever.
everyone. Thanks all again so much, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.